What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about this handgun right here, and I bet a bunch of you already clicked off or hit the dislike button, and that's fine, but I promise you should stay to understand why. I get it's a single stack, low capacity, small. I get that this thing looks beat to crap, it's all gunked up, it's dirty, doesn't look the best, doesn't look the cleanest, so I get all that, but at the same time I definitely think it's worth sticking around. Because out of all my handguns, I have over 30 Glocks, a bunch of Smith & Wesson, Springfield Armories, SIGs, other FNs, Canics. This still remains one of my favorite handguns till this day. Now, it's not one of my most carried handguns at this moment, but this is one of the most carried handguns I own. It could potentially have the most carry time behind it, and I'm going to explain why. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. If you're still here, it is much appreciated. This handgun is actually discontinued, so that's why I thought I'd touch back on this firearm, allowing the people to get another chance to possibly go online and find it, because I've been seeing it for $399, I've been seeing it for $400, or the one with the integrated laser for around $450, and I think that's about as solid as a purchase as you can make, even with the low capacity. Let's get into it. So the FN503, the first thing you're going to notice, other than these awesome 2A cookies that I actually really enjoy, we'll get into that in another video, is this hoe grip. This whole grip is not meant for the FN503. I had to do some measuring, I had to do some looking up and stuff like that, and I came to the conclusion that my Ruger Security 9 Compact has a very similar overall diameter. Not the same width this way, not the same width this way, but the Security 9 Compact is a little wider this way, but shorter this way, whereas this is longer this way and much thinner. So this grip fits this perfectly and snug. The other thing you're going to say is, oh, it looks like it may be a little over the mag release, or the mag catch, and a little over on this side. This thing launches mags like it's nobody's business, and that's actually one of the issues a lot of people claim they have, but it's not really an issue. They claim it's a malfunction, or the firearm isn't reliable. We're going to get into that. I've had that same issue. This gun runs perfectly. It does not get much better than the FN503. Anyways, it's a 3-inch striker-fired handgun from FN. The internals are actually very interesting. They're very similar to the 509 series, and if you ever take a look at them, they're really well made. It's a really well built firearm, really well built handgun. I actually really love this thing, and everything just functions on it. The mag release you saw, it launches that mag. The springs in the mags, which we'll get into, actually we might touch on it now. So first of all, it comes with a 6-round mag with this little pinky extension that allows you to get 2 fingers on it, and then you tuck one. And we're going to talk about recoil, because the recoil is the reason why this isn't a problem. Next up, it comes with an 8-round mag that sits about here. Actually feels really good. When you have that 8-rounder in there and all your fingers are sitting here and you have that grip, it's very ergonomic, actually very pleasing to the hands, especially if you have bad hands like I do. It is perfect. But the thing about the magazines is the springs are so strong. For a lot of people, when you go to release the mag with a full mag, this doesn't happen with a half-empty mag. It doesn't happen when you have a full mag emptied, right? It only happens, let's say you have a round in the chamber and a full mag, and then you take that mag down, right? A mag will catch, or a round will catch a little bit, and so when you go to remove the mag, a round will drop with it. So it'll remove a round, it won't chamber a round because you haven't manipulated the slide, but that round will just fall right onto whatever you're doing. And so people call that a malfunction. It's actually that the springs are so strong on these that even if you have it like that for 2 years, fully loaded, whatever the case may be, you do that, it's going to happen. But first of all, your mag should be in your firearm, loaded with the round in the chamber. So that should never affect you at the range. And yeah, you may have to pick up a round, but at the range, I go to shoot. And in self-defense, you're not going to be, dealing with that. You're going to want your mag in the handgun. And even if that round did drop, you just throw whatever's left in there and get back to it, or grab your backup mag. So that hasn't been an issue. That's actually an issue when it comes down to it being strong springs. And these are some of the best mags. FN has the greatest mags, I kid you not, especially the 503. Another thing you'll notice is it's not the thinnest. It's not the shortest this way. It's not the thinnest this way. It's none of that. But what it is, it's a little tank. You see how thick this is and how thick it is here? This firearm is built like a mini tank. It's still got a 3-inch barrel. It's still shorter than majority of the single stack 9s. But at the same time, it's got a thick slide, a little bit heavier slide, a little bit more purchase on that frame. and it actually has really nice texturing. I just prefer wider grips, which isn't a big deal. But anyways, the thing that makes this handgun what it is its durability, its ability to last, its ability to be reliable. This FN503, so I do new construction plumbing. That is my full-time career. For 3.5 years, I carried the FN503. This was in my pocket for 3.5 years, 55 to 60 hours a week. Non-stop. And we're talking digging undergrounds and getting sweaty, working your butt off in 100-degree weather, in the cold, -50 with the wind chill. I mean, this thing has seen extreme temps. And people always say the firearm looks beat up and gunked up and not maintained. Guys, these internals are flawless. I don't care about a little dirt in there because it's not going to go away. It's going to happen the next time I pocket carry it. This is just wear. I've practiced so many pocket draws with this firearm because I carry it in a Vetter pocket locker holster. That's how I carried it. And it's just the greatest setup. But I've practiced drawing from the pocket, considering I carried for that long every single day, 5 days a week, that amount of time per day for that many years. I needed to make sure my pocket draws were on point with the holster I'm using, so that is mainly what I practice. And a lot of time there'd be dirt, gunk, and stuff like that in my holster. So when I'd go to draw, it would get all these wear lines. Plus, just overall, when you're using a handgun on Kydex, overall that finish wears down. But you want to know what's amazing? Not a speck of rust. Not a speck of rust. I kid you not. Absolutely. Oh, sorry. My kitty just jumped up. We actually just got her today, so say hello. She's a little nervous. She hasn't been here for a while yet, but good little girl. All right, get down. Sorry. All right, she's still checking out the place and making sure it's okay. Anyways, FN503. Talking about the finish, not a single speck of rust. You see the mags? Stainless steel, not a single speck of rust. You see how dirty this is? But I promise you, the inside, clean as can be. But you see all that gunk? Yeah, imagine that on this handgun, soaked in your pocket, sweating, just water consistently, moisture consistently on it. Not a single ounce of rust. And I rarely ever oiled the outside, only internals, barrel, rail, stuff like that. The next thing that's so great about this handgun is I took it to my aunt's tree farm and I went shooting. I didn't clean this thing for 2 weeks. My first round, dust shot this way, sawdust. As I'm shooting, a little pebble shot out from the slide. I kid you not, I had a little pebble from an underground. But you know what didn't happen? A malfunction. And then when I'm shooting there, what I'm realizing is this handgun feels weird. It's almost off the way it's shooting. Not in a bad way. I was realizing there's zero recoil. And I know Hogue grips are known for absorbing and cushioning a little bit of that blow. But I mean, there was no recoil. This is the flattest shooting Micro 9. It's flatter than the P365, the Hellcat, the Shield Plus, the Glock 43, the CZP-10M, the LC9S, the Shield. I mean, I could go on. This is the flattest shooting. Now, it's not the lightest single stack out there, but this is my best friend when it comes to pocket carry. I throw Civil Liberty Defense rounds in there to make up for some of that weight, and then on top of that, because they're lighter rounds, but they're also faster rounds. So, and they also have less recoil because of that weight. So this is one of the smoothest shooting, quick draw, backup pistol setups you could ever have. Civil Liberty Defense in 9mm, of course, 6+1 or 8+1 in the pocket, super light, and no recoil. I mean, it's amazing. The FN503 is a great handgun. The reason why it didn't sell is simply because there was other options already out there for so long. Everyone already had their single stacks, and then boom, stack and a half Micro 9s came out. But this FN503 has been nothing but trustworthy. It's not the greatest gun. Doesn't have the best trigger, which we'll get into the trigger. Doesn't have anything better than any other gun. It's just as reliable as can be and built like a tank. This handgun actually got ran over. I fell off a ladder at 6 feet onto this handgun in my pocket holster. Didn't go off. I can trust this thing. Like, this thing has been through some intense stuff. And yes, the story of it being ran over is up on my channel. But let's go over that trigger. And actually, I want to point out something, right? The slide stop. This thing is completely smooth. There's nothing to get snagged on. But this thing, for the people who like to release the slide, I like to drop the slide with my hands. And then when there's, obviously when you're chambering around, I just release it like that. But a lot of people like, to use this as a slide release. It is the best functioning slide release there is. It is the best. There's nothing better. And it doesn't get snagged. Now let's get in that trigger. We'll drop, right? And it's a metal trigger. It is very light. It's probably 4.5 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. Long reset though, because remember this is made for pocket carry and stuff, but very easy to reset that trigger and pull. It is long, but man is it light. This handgun right here is an absolute beast. The FN503 is the real deal. Yes, it doesn't have a light rail or anything like that, but this to me is a pocket carry gun, a light carry option, a quick jog, a walk to the park, whatever the case may be, and it's going to be your best friend. Because even though you may go out and get a SIG P365 that has way more capacity, you also may get less shots off due to reliability. This thing right here, whoever made it, has made a handgun that will forever be one of my favorite handguns. I kid you not. And that's simply because, you know, I finally purchased a $500 handgun. And I was like, you know, this is awesome. I got a great gun. And then I realized I paid what I got. Paid for what I got. You know, I had my LC9S, which isn't bad, but my EC9S was rusting from pocket carry, and like I had a bunch of issues with some other handguns. And then I paid for this, which right now it's around $399, $400. I paid for this, and I was like, okay, I got a good quality handgun this time. But then I realized, no, I have the best quality handgun. I don't care what people say about capacity, single stack, trigger. No, this handgun is going to go bang when you need it to, and that's what matters. It can, you know, produce rounds under terrible conditions, gunked up, lint, glue, primer, PVC shavings, dirt, spray foam. I mean, I kid you not, this handgun has just performed. And that's what a carry option is about. It's not about all the bells and whistles. It's not about the optics, the lasers, the looks, you know, it's about how it performs. This right here, a plain Jane FN503. Don't even have night sights on it. Honestly, probably couldn't even afford to put night sights on it at the time. Hoe grip, that's it. Just fine. Love this handgun. Would carry it every day. So, just letting you guys know that a handgun that is one of the best has been discontinued. Thanks for watching.